Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashchaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama-shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Glories of Bhagavatam, number 4. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the literary incarnation of God and is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. All. If one reads this, one will get all. All happiness, all bliss, all success, everything desirable one will get. That's the glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And ultimately it will give the topmost thing, Prema Pamartho Mahan, Granthrat Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Paramananda Pathaya, Prema Varshi Aksharayate, Sarvada Sarvasevyaya, Shri Krishnaya Namastute. Param Ananda Pathaya, we should read, hear, discuss, chant, glorify Bhagavatam with lot of Ananda, Param Ananda Pathaya, Prema Varshi Aksharayate. Why? Because it is showering what? Prema Akshara. Every syllable is showering the love for God. Prema Akshara, Prema Varsha Aksharayati. It is raining love for God through the syllables of Bhagavatam. Shri Krishnaya Namastute. It is not different from Krishna. So I'm so grateful to all of you who have come either on Zoom or Facebook or any other medium, or who will be hearing in future. Thank you so much. So we are reading this chapter entitled The Perfect Society, the Four Social Classes. Canto 7, Chapter 12. We read till text 15 yesterday. So today we will read text 16. And as you know, generally on Saturdays and Sundays, from the last couple of weeks, we have been trying to invite guest speakers to enlighten us on the topic of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And this Saturday is a test of your tolerance and patience, because somehow we were trying to coordinate with some devotees, and at last minute the plans have had to be changed. And as a result, you'll have to tolerate me for the next some time. So today is a real test. Devotees, one of the qualities is titikshva, or tolerant. So, and the tolerance is tested in provoking circumstances. So please tolerate me today, and please bless me. Please pray for me. So with all my shortcomings, with all my anarthas, I can try to serve Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and try to serve all of the wonderful assembled Vaishnavas here, and so that we can nurture, nourish, relish Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and see how we can apply that in our lives and how we can benefit from this wonderful Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So with that, we will start the reading of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 12, Text 16. Evam vidho brahmachari vanaprastho yatirgrihi charan vidita vijnana param brahmadi gacchati. Evam vidho brahmachari vanaprastho yatirgrihi charan vidita vijnana param brahmadi gacchati. Evam vidhi, in this way, brahmachari, whether one is a brahmachari, vanaprastha, or one is in the vanaprastha ashram, yatihi, or in the sannyas ashram, Grihi, or in the Grihastha ashram. Charana, by the practice of self-realization and understanding of the absolute truth. Vidita Vijnana, fully conversant with the science of absolute truth. Parama, the supreme. Brahma, the absolute truth. Adhigachati, one can understand. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Abhicharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: by practicing in this way, whether one be in the Brahmachari ashram, the Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyasa ashram, one must always realize the all-pervading presence of the Supreme Lord. For in its for in this way it is possible to understand the absolute truth. Purport, small purport. This is the beginning of self-realization. One must first understand how Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting. This education is called Brahma Jigyasa, and that's the topic of today, Brahma Jigyasa, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and is the real concern of life, human life, not animal life. That's the real concern of human life. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Rather, he remains in the animal kingdom. As it is said, Sa eva go kharaha. Without such knowledge, one is no better than a cow or an ass. So this is the topic for today. We'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langyate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, I prostrate myself unto all the present devotees. So you can please shower your blessings and prayers. So for the next some time, I can become an insignificant medium in the hands of Guru and Krishna and serve Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, serve Krishna, serve Sri Gauranga, serve Srila Prabhupada, and serve all the Guru Vrinda, and serve all of you. So I humbly seek your blessings and prayers so that I can become a pleasure for Guru and Gauranga. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Satam prasange mama virya samvidho Grinanti hritkarnarasayana katha Tajoshanad apavargavartmani Shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramashyati Satam prasangi mama virya samvido. What happens? When in the association of devotees, mama virya samvido, when we hear Krishna Katha, the glories of the heroic glories of Krishna, mama grinanti hrit karna rasayana katha, and then we accept this rasayana, this aushati, this medicine, which will help us to counteract all the worldly things. This is the real vaccination to counteract lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. Tajoshanat apavarga vartamani. We become apavarga. We become free from parishram, pena, bhaya, fear. Shraddha, ratir, bhaktir, anukramishati. And three things happen. Faith increases, rati, attachment, and bhakti, devotion to the Supreme Lord, increases step by step, step by step. So hearing is the most important process in our the Navda Bhakti. It starts with the Prahlad Maharaj begins the Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So one must hear about Krishna in the association of devotees. That is the most very, very bona fide way. And today we are very, very fortunate to hear in the association of devotees. And hearing means speaking, speaking, I'm hearing for my own purification. And it's not that I'm speaking the words of Guru and Krishna, the words of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So I'm speaking and hearing for my own purification. So with that consciousness, to increase our love, to increase our attachment, to increase our faith towards Krishna, let's absorb in this Krishna Katha. So coming back to this verse is about all the ashramas. There are 4 varnas which we studied in the last chapter: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In this chapter, we are discussing about the 4 ashramas, and we have discussed multiple qualities like sense control, mind control, be freedom from illicit sex, freedom, be careful in dealing with the opposite sex, whether male for female and female for male. Both are like butter and fire analogy. We have discussed that as well. And then we have also discussed that one should not eat things which are not conducive for bhakti. We should not, indulge in alcoholic or intoxication, meat eating, etc. They are not conducive for bhakti. So one who lives by these principles and asks for the real inquiry. And what is that real inquiry? Inquiry about the absolute truth. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Parabrahma, asking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And with this, I would like to, take us to verse from Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagvatam. Because any scripture, whether it is Bhagavad Gita or whether it is Srimad Bhagvatam, the first chapter, first canto of Srimad Bhagvatam begins with what? Questions of the sages. What is Narad Muni, what is Yudhishthira Maharaj doing in this verses? He's asking questions. What is Arjuna doing? Prichhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yashrehasyam nishchitam bruhi tanme. I'm asking you, what is for real benefit? Give me that. Don't give me shreyas. Sorry, don't give me prayers. Give me shreyas. Yat shreya. Give me the thing which will really benefit me. So all our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, in all the scriptures, at multiple places we see questions and answers. Questions, Maitreya, Vidura. Question, answers. Krishna, Arjuna. Shukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, Sutta Goswami, the same is, and the sages of Naimisharanya, etc. So many examples. Mata Parvati asking questions to Lord Shiva. So many examples or so many combinations of Guru and Shishya we see, and what they're asking? Questions. And then the right speaker, the right Guru is replying. So I want to bring our attention to this verse. So let's see if someone is interested to read this one. Anyone wants to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, you can read the verse and translation, and one more devotee can read the purport. Yes, please.
Thank you. Munaya sadhu kristoham bhavadirlokamangalam yadkrata Krishna samprasno enatma sprusititi dati. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna. So are the relevance of the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, you want to read? Silas Prabhu, you want to read? Purport?
Prabhuji, thank you very much. Since it has been stated herein before that in the Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is to be known, the question of the sages of Naimisharanya are proper and just, because they pertain to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. In Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the personality of Godhead says that in all the Vedas, there is nothing but the urge for searching after him, Lord Krishna. Thus, the question that pertains to Krishna are the sum and substance of all the Vedic inquiries. The whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and men are all busy in the matters of perpetual questions and answers. In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with questions and answers. And in the evening also, the same birds come back and again become busy with questions and answers. The human being, unless he is fast asleep at night, is busy with questions and answers. The businessmen in the market are busy with questions and answers. And so also the lawyers in the court and students in schools and colleges. The legislators in the parliament are also busy with questions and answers. And the politicians and the press representatives are busy with questions and answers. Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole lives, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of the soul can only be obtained by questions and answers on the subject of Krishna. Krishna is our most intimate master, friend, father, or son, an object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. We cannot live for a moment without being questioned or without giving answers. Because the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading and hearing this transcendental literature. One should learn the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and make an all-around solution to all problems pertaining to social, political, or religious matters. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Krishna are the sum total of all things. Thank you.
Isn't that an amazing verse, an amazing purport? I mean, what more can be said than, directly hearing Srila Prabhupada's purport? Such an amazing, each and every line is so important in this. So, Munaya sadhu prishtoham, that, oh sages, I have been, your questions are great. Sadhu, sadhu. Jagadbhir bhavadbhir lokamangalam. They are not ordinary questions. When great people ask questions, like how Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking question, what is the outcome? The story of Prahlad Maharaj. If he would have not asked the question to his Guru Narad Muni, we would have been deprived of this wonderful Leela. So when great When the sages of Naimisharanya are asking these questions, what are we getting? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. When Parikshit Maharaj is asking Krishna, the Shukdev Goswami these questions, what are we getting? Bhagavatam. When Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna, what are we getting? Bhagavad Gita. So when great people, they don't actually need all those. But why do they ask? Bhavadbhir loka mangalam. Loka, for the benefit of the masses. And that's that's question and answer is basically Bhagavad Gita. Question and answer is basically Bhagavatam and all the holy scripture. But what kind of questions they're asking? Are they asking, oh, Takshak is coming, Shukdev Goswami, in 7 days. Please tell me, give me some kind of anti-poison remedy so that I can be free from Takshak. Right? Did he ask that? Or did he ask, this ruler is coming to destroy me. Please tell me how I can strengthen my army and I can be victorious. Right? The people with aham and mameti consciousness, I, me, and mine, ask those kind of questions. What kind of questions? The bird is asking question, where will I find the food? When will I get my next job? Everyone, bird to beast, anyone and everyone is asking questions. Will my children be okay? When the bird is, catching food, she's thinking about the children. Will my children be okay? Where will I get the next meal? What will happen to my job? Will I get the visa? What if Trump changes the rule? What will happen to my citizenship? What will happen to my pension? What will happen to this? Will I survive the corona? Will I get corona? These are the questions. Will I get an increment in the job? Will my family, I, me, and mine? Selfishness and extended selfishness. But great souls, what questions they ask? Yat kritah Krishna samprashno, the questions pertaining to Krishna consciousness. Brahma jigyasa. They don't ask those questions. They ask questions based on the real benefit. Yen atma suprasidati, and that pleases everyone. Because questions pertaining to I, me, and mine are temporary. Correct? So if we have to solve the real problems of life, will asking temporary questions work? No. So we have to solve the problems, any problem we have, from its root cause. And I have this, my material profession is this, quality and Lean Six Sigma kind of stuff I do at office. And there is something called 5Y. And I thought, let me try to connect today the process of finding solutions. Over there also, there are problems. And then there is corrective action, there is preventive action, and then there is effectiveness of preventive action. For those who may be a little familiar. And there is a tool called 5Y analysis. Can anyone give me any example? Let's do that 5Y analysis. Asking that question, why? Why? Let's say if I have a headache. Why? Let's do that. Give me any problem. Any problem. Can you pick any problem? We will do that 5Y analysis. Anyone wants to pick any problem? Let's keep it engaging.
Well,
Any
the
problem.
obvious one is the coronavirus.
Coronavirus. My question would be, why is coronavirus? Let's see who can answer. Why is there coronavirus? We want to go to the root cause of the problem. This is called root cause analysis. Why is coronavirus? Who would answer?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
It's because the way the human civilization has progressed and the way the material world, all the things that they eat, which is not Krishna conscious, but anything and everything. That's
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I think you jumped a little forward. So let's go step by step. So why did coronavirus happen? Because of the meat market. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Now the next question is, why is there meat market? Because people want to eat that. Isn't it correct? Why do people want to eat that? Right? Why do people want to eat it?
To satisfy their hunger.
To satisfy their taste buds. Hunger, they can satisfy with the vegetables also. Their taste buds or their, right? So we will not say hunger, we will say their senses. To satisfy their, or to please their senses. Maybe it gives them more pleasure, I don't know, than eating. They say, oh, I don't want to eat rabbit food. So they kind of think that vegetables are rabbit food. Many of them think like that, although that definition is changing. And for those who are Krishna conscious, there are like zillions of preparations or millions of preparations can be made with fruits and vegetables and milk, etc., which are very, very palatable as well. But many people think that vegetarian is rabbit food, which is fine. We're not going in that. So now, why they do that? The ultimate, root cause is lack of knowledge, lack of higher knowledge, lack of understanding of the karmic cycle, right? And why is lack of karmic cycle? Why they don't understand? Because of lack of Krishna consciousness. And that is what Srila Prabhupada mentioned exactly. For getting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers. Krishna bhuli se jeev anadir bahir mukh, atev maya tare de samsara dukh. You pick any problem, we pick any problem, whether it is coronavirus, unemployment, rape, or any material problem, spiritual problem, any problem. The real root cause is forgetfulness of Krishna. And if we dig that problem further and further, we will come to this root cause analysis, and that is forgetfulness of Krishna. That is the root cause of all the problems. If one remembers Krishna, if one has established strong connection with Krishna, that person is Jivan Mukta Sauchyate. He is happy in all circumstances. For him, there is no problem. Because he is serving Krishna in all situations, whether it is Corona, no Corona, or whatever. He's happy. Even if he may get infected by that, that's fine. But he's happy. Whatever Krishna desires. Prahlad Maharaj was happy when he was being tortured by so many different ways. So the point here is we must ask questions. Human life is meant to inquire. And why do we ask questions? Because we want to get to the right destination. If we don't know where to go, then any road will take us there. So we must ask, what is this human life meant for? What is the process to get there? And asking questions about the real stuff. Now, if developing vaccine, so what will happen if we don't treat the problem from root cause? Okay. So if we say, okay, coronavirus is a problem, let's try to treat it. We don't go to the root cause. Okay, vaccine is developed, right? If the vaccine is developed and we don't go further down and try to address the problem, it is treating only the symptom because it is not the root cause. Does everyone agree? Even if one vaccine develops, can someone say that in future, 2 years down the line or 5 years down the line, no new virus will come, which may cause a similar situation? Because of the bad habits, because of the root cause. The root cause is lack of Krishna consciousness. And it has happened, there were viruses like SARS and others, which were not as difficult as this one, but they were potentially or kind of similar. And they were caused because root cause was not dealt. Only the symptomatic cause was dealt. We are not saying, so in the quality terms, treating the symptoms is called containment or corrective action. We have to take corrective action. I'm not against vaccine. I'm not against, the social distancing and the mask and all that, whatever we do, but that's a containment that will solve in the problem in a temporary phase. But we must go deeper and try to find a preventive solution so that the problem should not occur. let's say there is a defect in a company and you get a bad product. So you complain for it. So what do? They will ship you a new product. That's called the corrective action. They contain the problem. But there could be potentially 1,000 other bad products in their company, in their warehouse, in their inventory. So as a preventive action, they will check everything, all of that. That's the quality definition. And they will check their vendors. They will go to the root cause, why this happened, why this problem, and address there. So dealing with the externals is short-term solution, symptomatic solution. But going to the root cause, and that root cause is forgetfulness of Krishna. And how do we deal it? And the solution is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Solution is Krishna Bhakti. Solution is connecting ourselves to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Any comments, thoughts so far? Any reflections so far? Is it all, is it too complex or is it all making sense? Anyone wants to share any reflections so far?
It's making sense, Prabhu, what you said. Definitely about the coronavirus, as you mentioned, if we cannot correct our consciousness, it's going to happen. Even the coronavirus is still it's mutating. It's making so many types. So you are absolutely right. Until and unless we clean our consciousness, our senses, it is not going to be solution.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hearing it from a doctor, adds more authenticity. So I'm not just, babbling around. Prabhuji is a very nice doctor, and he is saying so it has more authenticity, and he's a nice devotee. So any other comments or thoughts so far before we move ahead? Okay. Let's hear a small clipping from Srila Prabhupada directly from our preeminent Shiksha Guru or founder Acharya. Okay, so you all can see it's a short clipping. You should be able to hear as well.
It is the duty of the human being to control the mind, not act like cats and dogs. That is human being. You should be inquisitive. Why this happening? Why this happening? And you should take education. That is human life. And if he does not inquire, if he does not take education, then what is the difference between him and the dog? He remains a dog. He has got this opportunity of human life. He should take advantage of understanding what is what. Not to keep himself in the dog status, simply eating, sleeping, sex life, and defending. That is the distinction between dog and human being. If he does not become inquisitive, how to control the mind? He is not even human being. And dog never inquires. Dog knows that when I bark, people become disturbed. He never asks how to control this barking habit. Because he is dog. He cannot do that. A human being can. People hate me. I do something wrong. How to control my mind? That is human. That is the difference between human being and dog. That's what Vedic injunction is. Go and inquire. You have got this human form of life. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now this is the time for inquiring about the soul. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva avigachet. If you want to understand this science, then go to proper guru and take lessons from him. The same thing as we instruct our children, if you want to be educated in the higher status, go to school, go to college, take lessons. That is human society. The dog's father will never ask the dog, child, go to school. No, they are dogs.
So crisp and clear message from Srila Prabhupada. And the purport also exactly says the same. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Rather, he remains in the animal kingdom. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the video and in the purport as well. It's go khara. It's donkey-like mentality. To live in an unregulated life. Whatever you feel like, do it. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. There is no control. There is no culture. Prabhupada gave the example of barking of a dog. Humans must try to control. If humans also live a dog-like, culture or a donkey-like culture, then what's the use of calling us a human? It's dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharma vina pashubhi naranam. Without this athato brahma jigyasa, without understanding the supreme, sorry to say, we are not different from animals. That's what Shastras are saying. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. That's what Bhagavatam is saying. And why do we inquire? Why should we inquire? For our own benefit. For our own benefit. To get free from the cycle of birth and death. To get free from the real root cause of the problem. We don't want to come here and suffer again in the cycle of birth and death. And then again, go to dog's body and bat's body and cat's body and go through so many situations. Human life is a struggle. Everyone is struggling so hard. Look at the number of diseases. Look at the challenges in the old age. So many difficulties. Adi bhautik, adi daivik, adi atmik. Do we want to go through this again and again? Or we want to inquire why I am getting this corona, why I am getting old. I don't want to get old. Anyone wants to get old? Everyone wants to be young forever. But why I'm getting old? I'm getting something which I don't want. I don't want this fever. I don't want this disease. I don't want cancer. Why I'm getting it? Then it will, when the why is strong, when we understand the why, when we inquire, when we become inquisitive, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnina sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. If we are not inquiring, then what is our destination? Don't we inquire before we're starting our car where I want to go? Or isn't that mentally clear? Okay, I'm going to get grocery. Okay, I'm going to see my friend. Okay, I'm going to the temple. Because we have inquired, right? Where I'm going and why I'm going. But in human life, where am I going? Where am I going? One should stop and ask, then why I'm going there? I'm doing something. Shouldn't we take a break at times and stop and ask, what is the goal of my life? Everything, a pen has a goal, a mobile phone has a goal, a notepad has a goal. They have a purpose. What is the purpose for my life? We should inquire about it. If we don't inquire, Prabhupada is mentioning, Bhagavatam is mentioning, it is Gokara. It is animal life. So if we want to get happy, if we want to get real freedom from the cycle of birth and death, if we want to understand the true purpose of life, then we must inquire. We must ask those questions. We must have that inquisitiveness. One of the qualities of a devotee is jigyasu. One should be eager. Then we will accept the right Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and his instructions and move forward. Otherwise, things may not work. And then the fag end of one's life, one will see, well, I spent all my life thinking about my family, thinking about my job. That's not the, now I am, in my 70s or 80s. This is not what I wanted out of life. So the right time to inquire is now. Whether we are in 20s, 30s, 40s, or whatever age we are in, the right time is now. We cannot undo the past. We can do work on the present. I always, tad vijnanartham sagurum eva vigachet. To understand the true knowledge, not asking the guru about new job, promotion, when will I get child, when will I get wife, when will I get husband, when will I get this, will I get rich, when will I get my own home. This is not the real question, because that's not the real problem either. The real problem is lack of Krishna consciousness, forgetfulness of Krishna consciousness. So we must ask about that. The sages are not asking about materialistic things. Yat krita Krishna samprashno. They're asking about Krishna. They're asking about bhakti. They're asking about the real duty. They're asking about Krishna's name, form, qualities, avatars. That's their question. His Gopeshwar Prabhu gave this 3 A's example. The first A is admit and accept. I have shortcomings. I am fallen. I must, accept that. Because if one thinks, no, I know everything, then there is no second step. If one is too much filled with everything, and it's not that it's just for new people. One may say, well, I am a devotee. I am already into Krishna consciousness. I have my Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. I have Srila Prabhupada with me. But at every point, we should be inquisitive. Most of you are already practicing Krishna consciousness from a long time, some few years, some few decades. We should always have that hunger. In Ayurveda, the main thing is hunger. If the hunger is good, then everything will be digested and assimilated properly. But if we don't have that hunger, that inquisitiveness, that jigyasa, then the katha may go from one ear. It will not have the right churning effect. But if we are hungry, Bhagavatam is so rare. Krishna Katha is so rare. Association of devotees is so rare. I must take the maximum advantage. I must ask, what can I do more in this situation? One must admit, yes, I am suffering. I need more association. I need more Krishna Katha. I need more. So that hunger will be there strong. The fire of digestion will be strong. And then the absorption will be strong. But if one says, no, I'm good. I'm chanting. Yeah, I'm good. I read Bhagavatam almost every day. Thank you. Done. When I feel I'm done, I'm done. When the glass is filled, there is no more scope to enter more. So when our glass will be full, then we will not be hungry. So we should always be hungry, inquisitive. Ask, how can I do better? Introspect, what are my shortcomings? How can I improve my anarthas? How can I reduce my anarthas? How can I intensify my bhakti? Asking senior Vaishnavas, asking the spiritual master. Be more eager to hear Srila Prabhupada's words. What Prabhupada is trying to teach me, being inquisitive today, and every day, and day after day. And then approach. So if in that mood we approach that I am fallen, I have no bhakti, bhaktya vihinam, aparadha lakshay. I have thousands of aparadhas. Bhaktya vihinam, I have no bhakti. Then we will approach with that mood. Approach the Guru. That's the second A. Approach and ask about our, spiritual progress. And then the third step will come, acceptance. Accept the instructions and act upon it. Act as per Guru's instructions. Then we will continue to make spiritual progress. So inquisitiveness, approaching, and then acting. Accept one's shortcomings, being inquisitive. The next day, approach the bona fide spiritual master, and then the next day is to act upon those. And this is for everyone, whether one is a new devotee, old devotee, because this principle, the fire, has to be there all the time. Let's take some reflections or any comments, and then we'll discuss one more point towards the end. Any reflections, comments, questions so far? No. Are you all still awake?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
I just want to reflect that the same question as you were mentioning, that even if we are in the devotional service, we have to be inquisitive. I was just thinking that about Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, when he first met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, and his first three questions were, who am I? Ke ami? Why I am suffering so much? And what is the remedy for that? How can I get rid of that? So as we were mentioning, I was just thinking that, I mean, our acharyas time and time showing us that example, including Srila Prabhupada. He also asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur that what's his instruction? Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you for the class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's so apt in this connection. Now the question may come, well, is it just for brahmacharis? Is it just for grihasthas? Is it just for vanaprasthas? Prabhupada is mentioning very, very clear. No matter whatever ashram one may be in, whether one is married, single, unmarried, or whatever, renounced, this is for everyone, the Brahma Jigyasa. And that's what I want to read a shloka from this. This is Padyavali, text 74. Lord Chaitanya also used to speak this. Naham vipro, na cha narapatir, na pi vaishyo, na shudro, naham varni, na cha grihapatir, no vasto yatirva, kintu prodhyam nikhila paramananda, purnamrita dhir, gopir bhartur padakamalayur, das das dasanudas. I am not a Brahmana. I am not a Kshatriya. I am not a Vaishya or a Shudra, nor am I a Brahmachari, a householder, a Vanaprastha, or a Sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa, the maintainer of the gopis. He is like an ocean of nectar, and he is the cause of the universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. Such a beautiful prayer. So, being the four varnas, the four ashramas are not our true designation because they keep changing. One could be brahmachari now and get married later. One could be grihastha now and enter vanaprastha. So these are external, the conditional duties. Yet, we have to execute our conditional duties, whatever conditions we are in. But as Prahlad Maharaj says, the constitutional duty, Kumar Acharit Pragyo, that does not change. Whether one is a 5-year-old, 50-year-old, married, unmarried, whatever state one may be in, the constitutional duty is Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor Das Das Dasanudas, the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis, Jivra Swarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. So if we act according to that principle, that constitutional duty, then no matter what ashram, what varna may be in, we'll be happy. There's one more prayer actually, which is very nice. It's called the Bhuta Shuddhi or Atma Shuddhi mantra. I'll just read the translation. I am by nature the eternal servant of Krishna, but because of my bad fortune, I have been inimical towards him from time immemorial, and thus I have identified myself with my body and continuously wandered in the cycle of birth and death in the material world, suffering the burning threefold miseries. Now, as a result of some unimaginable good fortune, my spiritual master's mercy has enabled me to know that I am Krishna's eternal servant, an infinitesimal spiritual being completely apart from the gross and the subtle body. And by the order of my spiritual master, I have obtained the good fortune of serving his lotus feet and following in the footsteps. I have obtained the good fortune of being able to serve the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Balram, and Sri Radha Shyamsundar. So this is called the Bhuta Shuddhi, or purifying ourselves. We can always chant this prayer while doing any service, before starting any service. Basically, before the devotees enter the deities hall or the Garbhagriha, to chant this mantra. And this is very important so that we are always remembering our spiritual master. We are always cognizant that we are very, very fallen beings I am very fallen, but because of unimaginable good fortune, I have received the Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavana Jiva. I'm so fortunate. I'm so blessed. I'm so this is inconceivable mercy of the Supreme Lord. So we must try to act, be inquisitive, be eager, be hungry, and continuously pray, act as per Guru Sadhu Shastra instruction, and no matter whatever ashrama, whatever external situations may be in, white or black, rich or poor, male or female, young or old, literate or illiterate, doctor or PN, we will get the maximum benefit because the real thing is Krishna consciousness. So thank you for allowing me to purify myself by sharing this wonderful topic. If anyone has any comments, questions, corrections, please feel free. Yes, please. Anyone has any comments or questions or corrections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tandat Pranam. Thank you so much for this wonderful class and how we should try to be inquisitive. Prabhuji, my question is, so we have to be inquisitive, and sometimes we know we have to accept certain things. We cannot delve too much deep into, like we read in the 6th canto about the different planetary systems, and if certain things our senses cannot perceive, so we have to accept that, like Mount Meru is there, so someone can ask, why can't we see it? And so there are certain things we have to accept based on our faith. So how can we know where to delve deeper and where to accept? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yes, you rightly mentioned, too much analysis also leads to paralysis. One devotee used to quote that, too much analysis leads to paralysis. So the right understanding is how it will help me to advance in my Krishna consciousness. If that is the goal, how will I benefit from this in my Krishna conscious journey? Let's say that the question is, okay, where did Gajendra and crocodile fight? Whether they fought in, which Manvantar they fought, which cycle of Brahma they fought, which Brahma was going on, which day was going on. Are all these questions good? They're just information. They're good. I mean, Krishna conscious information is also connected to Krishna, so it is not bad. But I believe, and we should ask more of such questions which will help us to progress spiritually. So one time someone asked Prabhupada, why do you put this tilak? Prabhupada asked, why did he asked a challenging? Prabhupada asked, why did you put this tie? Why are you putting this tie? He had no question. Sit down. First, ask the right questions. So one should ask the right questions. Yes, those technical questions, how much benefit they will have, some piece of information, but will it lead to transformation? Not to that extent. But if I ask question that how do I intensify my japa? How do I develop attraction towards Bhagavatam? So those questions, we should be more introspective. We should be more hungry. Right now, okay, I'm struggling with this situation that I can't get physical association of devotees. How I should handle this situation? That will help me, the individual, to make more spiritual progress. Because association of devotees is very rare. So the time we are getting to spend with our Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, we should choose the questions very wisely. Does that help, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you for your wonderful question. Any other comments or corrections, additions, questions?
Prabhuji, can you little bit explain about Naimisharanya?
Naimisharanya. Yes, whatever little I know, it is also called as the center of the whole universe. So that is the place where you know, the sages assembled, and was the Sutta Goswami spoke to the sages of Naimisharanya, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So this place falls in the northern part of the India. There is a well also. The place is still there. One can go near Ghaziabad or near the north. I have not actually been, but I know quite a few devotees have been, and it's near the somewhere around North India and close to on the way from Delhi to Haridwar. Little detour, but yeah, in that region you can say. So it's kind of the central place, and that's where Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken to the sages of Naimisharanya. Tens and thousands of sages were present, and they were doing the yajna. And they say, "What has happened? Nothing has happened. Just our face has turned black because of the smoke." And then the Param, the topmost, unalloyed Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken, and they were all very happy. And that's the Yoga Dharma, to hear Krishna Katha, to chant Krishna's name. Does that help to some extent?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other?
Thank you, Prabhuji. One just small comment, which is my reflection from today's class. You rightly mentioned about the sense control kind of a thing, which is very true. Especially we are, at least myself, I'm speaking. It's more day by day. It's like if you have, like example, if you have a small house, you think to get something big, it never gets satisfied. If you have a car, it doesn't matter, you want to drive a bigger car, right? And if you are eating food, like as you said, rabbit food, which is vegetables, people want different taste. Even myself, I look to have a different taste every day. I can't eat one food every day. So controlling our senses is so challenging these days, at least for me. We are trying to do it to the little most. I hope the smaller steps we take, one day it might be a bigger step where we control that habit of what we have is best and get to the next level. I think that's one kind of reflection that kind of touched today for me. I just want to share with you and kind of let everyone know as well. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Ekant Prabhu. That's great reflection. And yes, we are all sadhakas. We are not siddha. Siddha means perfect being. Sadhaka means we are trying to be perfect. So we are in this journey. We all have challenges, shortcomings. Millions of lifetimes we were serving Maya without any bias. We were just 100% serving Maya. Now in this lifetime, because of, that's what we read, because of unimaginable good fortune, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we are trying to serve. So yes, we are making baby steps. Even if we make baby steps, even if we take one step, Krishna is helping by coming 1,000 steps towards us. So yes, we continue to make our baby steps without losing hope, sincerely trying, and under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, under the guidance of senior Vaishnavas, we keep trying, one day we'll reach the goal. We are on the path to pure devotional service. We are on the path to pure bhakti. There's absolutely no doubt in there. One should have no doubt. Prabhupada wanted all his children to become pure devotees. And we will someday, if we sincerely keep moving. If we don't, like in a big journey, when I was small in doing Govardhan Parikrama, they said, don't worry too much about, 20 kilometers left. I have only covered 1 kilometer. then it may lead to, we may lose hope. I'm already tired. It's 1 kilometer and there is 20 more to go. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. So they say just focus on 2 steps further. Focus on the next 2 steps. Keep moving, little step, baby steps, one after the other, one after the other. And one day you will realize, we will reach the goal. Krishna says, if we don't give up the path, I will drag that person and take him to the topmost goal. If we continue to do our part without deviation, then Krishna will do his part. It's not, bhakti is not like a material goal. Like, okay, you get this degree and you get this qualification and you get this experience and then you are fit to become a general manager. We will never be fit. A sincere devotee never feels that I'm fit to go back home, back to Godhead. So we have to do our part in a very nice way, and then Krishna will do his part. If we do our best, Krishna will take care of the rest. So that's all we have to try, and you're sincerely trying. Please continue nicely. Thank you. Any other thoughts, comments, questions before we? Sudhir Prabhu, you want to speak something? You were raising hand, I guess.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. So actually I had a question, but Krishna made it that you answered Prabhuji's question and my question. In fact, Prabhuji's comment and my question. But I just want to add that as you were telling, sometimes we kind of, with our limited senses, if we at least I'm talking for myself, not having full faith, I have a lot of questions. So sometimes you gave a nice example that when somebody asked Prabhupada, why do we put tilak, once Prabhupada said, why do you put tie? But for the same question another time, I think Prabhupada gave an answer of like spiritually, right? This is the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So the gurus can see the difference between who is posting challenging questions versus posting for real knowledge. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes. That with the right mood, if you ask the right question, then we'll get the right response. Thank you, Prabhu. Anything else before we stop for today? Thank you. You all tolerated me. So you're very, very tolerant devotees. Thank you. Please pray for me so I can also become tolerant and humble. Anything else anyone wants to ask, share, tell before we? Hare Krishna. Okay, so someone messaged that they want to get the prayers. I can certainly share. So, yeah, Supriya Mataji, you want to share something, or the Kirtan is going? I'm not sure what's the intent or what's in your mind. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas. Tomorrow we have His Grace Shanmukund Prabhu to speak on the glories of Lord Balram. So thank you so much. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah, I'll send the prayers. So as I said, I'll post in the group. I believe you're in the group, Supriya Mataji. So I'll be sharing the prayers in the group. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.